Good morning, everyone. And this is the second video of chapter number 6, that is New Ideas and Religions. As you must have seen the first video, and we have understood regarding what are Upanishad and about Jainism. And in this video, we are going to understand about Buddhism and Gautam Buddha, who was the founder of Buddhism. Now, who was Gautam Buddha? Gautam Buddha was actually belonged to a royal family. His father Shuddhoma was the king of Kapilavastu and his mother was Queen Maya. He was born in the Lumbini Grove in Nepal in 566 BCE. It is said that from the beginning Siddhartha had little interest in worldly affairs and spent long hours meditating. Now, what changed Gautam, or you can say Siddhartha, that he was going somewhere and he see four sights. You can see the four sights in this picture. Okay, the first sight is of an old man, a sick man, a dead person, and an skating. These sights disturbed him so much. He was so disturbed after seeing these sights that he quietly left home at the age of 29 to seek answers to his questions. He reached Rajgraha and became a disciple of two distinguished teachers, but he was not satisfied. He then left them and undertook several penances in jungle near Gaya for 6 years. He finally found answers to his questions and attained enlightenment under a peepal tree at modern Bodh Gaya. The Mahadomi temple was later built at his place. Now, what are the teachings of the Buddha? Now, all these teachings of the Buddha are actually based on these four noble truths. The first is that there is suffering in the world. We cannot deny it. Second is that every suffering has a cause. Third is that how do you put an end to the suffering? Because every suffering is actually mended from the desire. So we need to control our desires. And the fourth is that it is possible to put an end to the suffering by controlling our desires. And to control all these four noble truths, there have been eightfold path which has been given by the Buddha. You can see over there, these are the eightfold path: right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right concentration, and finally the right mindfulness. So these are the eightfold path. A very important teaching of the Buddha was to follow the middle path. Now, what is this middle path? That is neither to give up all worldly possessions nor live in luxury. The Buddha preached equality of all human beings and rejected the important givens to the Varna system. He was very much against the Varna system. He used to consider that each and every person is equal. He emphasized the importance of kindness and ahimsa or non-violence. He forbade the killing of animals as part of religious sacrifices. Now, we have many Buddhist sacred literature which has been written down by this period, and there are three Tripitakas which has been written. The first are Sutta Pitaka, a book containing the Buddha's teaching. Second is the Vinaya Pitaka, a book containing rules for monks and nuns. And finally the Abhidhamma Pitaka, which is which has philosophical principles. Okay, so these are the sacred literature of the Buddhism. And the Buddhism spread into many countries also, and it has been popular in Sri Lanka, Tibet, China, Japan, Burma, Thailand, and Indonesia. Organization and residence. Now, they used to people live together. Okay, now all the Buddhist people, they used to live together in monasteries, and group of such people who had left their home often stayed, prayed, meditated, and lived together in a kind of association or assembly called the Sangha. Both men and women were allowed to join, though they were separate branches for each. They were called bhikkhus and bhikkhunis from the Prakrit word for one who begs. So you can see these are the Buddhist monks who are, who used to live in monasteries. Now, how did they begin to live in monasteries? First of all, in the beginning, they used to be an itinerant group. Itinerant group means that they used to wander from one place to another. But due to the change in season and everything and rainy season, they have to have a place where they can stay. And this is how the viharas were made. The viharas, the monasteries where they used to stay, especially in the 3 months of the rainy season. And after some time, they realized that monks and nuns felt the need for more permanent shelters, and so monasteries or viharas were built on land or in the cave, donated to the Sangha by rich merchant, king, and landowners. Soon they began to reside in these viharas throughout the year. So this is how monasteries and viharas were built for these monks. Okay, you can see in this picture that this is a vihara which is in Thailand. Okay, so by this we have completed our chapter and we have understood regarding two important religion which is part of our society now, that is Jainism and Buddhism. Thank you so much.